Uju, Anin, Tansei. Good morning. My name is Jerry the Big Bear Barrett, and welcome to our land-based learning gathering for this Tuesday, May 17th, 2022. As your Master of Ceremonies, it's my honor to introduce our special guests and presenters and our students throughout the next 2 days. You're in for a really educational, but a great time, because a lot of the topics are so important to our people about getting back to the land and learning not just about nutrition, but also fitness and some wonderful activities that take place in our traditional land. So as a survivor of the 60s scoop, I was removed from my culture, but hosting these wonderful gatherings, I'm learning so much. So kudos to you if you're living in your community and experience all the great outdoors and everything that Mother Earth has to share with us. And as I mentioned, we'll get into the nuts and bolts of the conference and our guest lineup coming up in just a bit. But as our opening ceremonies get underway here, we have some special guests to introduce to you. And as always with opening ceremonies, it's my honor to introduce our elder to get our day underway. And her name is Elder Lucy Kakagimek. And she's from the Kawawan First Nation and currently living with her family and grandchildren in Thunder Bay. She has a BA, Bachelor of Education from Lakehead University, and counseling from Providence Institute. She's been working as a well-being support worker for the Keewatinuk Okimakanak Student Support Services at Dennis Franklin High School, Dennis Franklin Cromartie High School for the last 11 years. Her work involves meeting with students individually on mental, emotional, or well-being issues while they are attending high school in Thunder Bay. So we thank her for that. Elder Lucy works to support students and encourages them in their education goals. She has also worked as a part-time elder with the DFC in their elders program. She enjoys visiting with young people and being available, of course, to make time for tea and bannock, as we all do. And she enjoys company in the elders room, and she enjoys walking and reading. So please join me in welcoming Elder Lucy with our opening prayer.
Good morning, everybody. Hope everybody had a good night rest and we're blessed with a beautiful day. Thank you for that introduction, Jerry. Good to see you again. Okay, let's just start our day in a good way. And just a minute, I need to shut my phone off for a minute. Yeah, it's good to be here, and thank you for the invite again. I'm in Winnipeg this week with my daughter with her conference. She brought me along. So it just works out to be online from here this week. Thank you again, and I'll just open up in prayer to start our day in a good way. Semando kingak shoat sankin nakum go hoigan epistigishgak. Epistimenoshigishga emin shak. Egogek kanem shak me gotchen back. Midiawins emin shak. Gagwajum gooch milk shamando to show and the man who am out to go. And in he can eat us to go out. Ugona gutan creek, Ugona schoono gag canots to out. Kawichawan duskas simnanan, egominanos sananan. Was me and the Genish Machawa don't kill no switch at all. Gagwesumuga gitan, you packet naman, Stamaun Gachuyak, Moga Gokkan Magnan. To show him a dog gawi ayawat. President Gawi Yawat, but don't quinoa. Imagine Gagwesum Jesus. And Nakumukun, Minyaon Kamin Shakuga Gishgak. God our Father, we give you thanks for this new day. We thank you for the night rest, that you watch care over us and give us life a new day. So we ask your blessing upon this meeting, upon each representative and all those that will be representing God. We ask your blessing upon them and ask each worker and each participant, Father. And so bless this meeting We ask you for renewed strength and grace for today. In Jesus Amen.
Amen. Miigwech for those words. I meant to mention as well that I'm from the Saugeen First Nation in Southern Ontario, so I bring you greetings from my community as well. All right, speaking of greetings, it's time for our very first, I want to say presenter, but some more opening words here from our Deputy Grand Chief, Bobby Narcisse, to our land-based learning gathering. And good morning, Deputy Grand Chief. I just want to say the amazing thing about the internet is that we can connect from all over Turtle Island, and you're in transit this morning. And so it's nice to see your face here from inside your car.
Hello, good morning, everyone. Yes, hello. I'm actually coming from the land myself. I was out in the land on the weekend and just doing some fishing and getting the boat out. And, you know, it's been a long winter. And with the advent of COVID as well, keeping us indoors and everything. And, you know, it's that time of year, you know, spring and renewal and an opportunity just to really get out there in the land, you know, like really enjoy all the nature and all that. And because, like, you know, our people, even across Anishinaabe Nation, all of our 49 communities, you know, our land is so beautiful, and the land is a part of us. And, you know, in terms of, you know, land-based education and land-based healing, you know, we you know, it's really rejuvenating getting back there. And, you know, I think when we're, you know, evolving in terms of developing our own curriculums that are based on our community wellness and our community needs, it's really important that, you know, we really include these opportunities for us to really engage in land-based activities and involve all members of our communities as well, like our elders and, you know, our youth and, you know, just all of our students, you know, would benefit from the teachings of the land. I was recently at our education directors meeting yesterday, and we heard some good words from one of our education directors saying that, you know, the land is our classroom. You know, you can learn geography, you can learn history, you can learn math, you know, you could learn like many things about yourself, like self-awareness in terms of, you know, how you react to the land and all these different land-based healing and education. And, you know, we have a vast, beautiful resource at our fingertips here. And I think this session and everything, I think will be an opportunity for everyone to really share in many of the experiences that are out there, a lot of the teachings from our knowledge keepers, and the experiences from working with the land and working like that. In terms of education too, like I recall my days as a recreation and land-based director at Dennis Franklin Cromartie High School. It was my pleasure, and even I continue to learn too by taking out you know, students out in the land with canoeing trips and dog sledding trips, and you know, I think a lot of our students got a lot out of that. And now even too with the Choose Life, the Choose Life program being so evident and very supportive of land-based education and healing programs in our communities. Our communities are set to even benefit more, and also it's an evolving program that could be also included in our curriculums as well, to also be based in our languages as well. So those are a lot of things that you know, we could benefit from our traditional territories and the territories that we've inhabited in memorial. So yeah, I just want to also acknowledge Lucy and her opening prayer. Thanks for opening us up in a good way today, and all the participants and all the staff that are here today, and they'll be delivering this this land-based education seminar. So I just want to say miigwech for everyone for participating today. I look forward to hearing all the good comments and all the good reports from today's sessions, and as we are moving ahead. I believe tomorrow I'll be talking a little bit about my journey, and I'm looking forward to that, and lots of interesting segues into a lot of things that are happening today. So yeah, so chimigwech kinwag, and I wish you all a good day, and yeah, and I'll turn it back to our MC there, miigwech.
Miigwech, thank you for those good words. And it's interesting to hear about, you're going to share your story, and we're going to hear so many stories today about working with the land. And I'm going to be keeping a keen ear, because I got a big Ojibwe ear, on how perhaps working on the land and living on the land has changed with, some of the climate change and the environmental impacts that the European lifestyle has had with our traditional land. So that'll be something that I'll keep an ear out for. So thank you, Deputy Grand Chief, for those words.
Thank you.
We're going to move on now to our Education Director. A lot of you, you know him from our last session, of course. He's a wonderful man. Here he comes, Education Director Andrew Solomon. Andrew, good morning.
Morning. What thing to say? The thing I'm going to say about honest. I think I'm more. I got Nimin and but time in now. Get to go and give me the instrument to see. You're going to go and can't take the mat this one. Talk to about you on the sky. No, I'm a sky and then me again. Minute to go to stand. Get on Gagi notice yan. To get to my ban. Tagoshi. Mr. Minute Gigwes Kanaman and the Gashamanian. Etian, Emistinasian. Pogogon Gagin, one at a time. I'm going to stand on my man and it's Robert time. It's ended. Morning, everyone. First up, I want to acknowledge Sherry. She's our education manager, and she put this together. You don't know how many numerous emails goes back and forth with this with Tag, who is our company who worked with putting this together. Sherry, thank you for everything. I really appreciate all the devotion and all dedication that you have for this organization and for this event to be very successful. I really appreciate that. I apologize for being late. She was already on call at 8:30 this morning, emails and making sure that I get on time. I really appreciate your push. Thank you for that. I also want to acknowledge our elder Lucy for the opening prayer. Really, I want to say that I hope everything goes well in Winnipeg with you and whatever you are meeting over there and throughout the day. Those are great words by our Deputy Grand Chief Narcisse, and I'm looking forward also to listening to him more as when he presents. But I think we have a lot of great presenters. It is hard to say which one to take on when they're doing this. It's really difficult. I know sometimes we have to say no to other presenters. We apologize for that, but it's just the timing. It's just what do you call it? The materials and everything where everybody comes from. But I really appreciate the interest. Those of you that are online this morning, good morning to you. Good morning again. We got reminded yesterday by our elder, Helen Cromarty, that our definition of learning is lifelong. So this begins at the early age, and you don't stop learning even as you get old. You still continue to learn as you get old. She reminded us that our father in the 80s we kept telling her that I'm still learning even at this age. So with that, when you look at our education and the definition of our education, it's not just the institution that we go into for what we have been accustomed to do. But the other things is on the land base, the survival skills, all these social skills, all the connections to to Mother Nature, and the benefits out of that. Well, today, everybody talks about the lack of money from the federal government. Well, there's your chance here to use land-based learning for your students on the mental health, the well-being of your students. Here's a way to look at your food security, since everything is costs going up. Food security, so you could eat the harvest from the land, and ensuring that there's a lot of things you could teach, preparing, preserving, in ways that you making sure that what your harvest stays over for a year, and for you to consume throughout the year. Those are the things. And the other one that we have to start looking at is gardening. We have to get into that. Get your students into it. If you're not doing it, enhance that teaching, and they got to know it. I was involved in when I was back in 2014 to 18. We did the gardening. I helped on that in the community, and it was something that at the end of when you harvest in the fall, it's just all the rewards come, and you see what you accomplish, waiting patiently to see these things grow for your benefit. And so the other benefit is the nutrition, like was mentioned already. We have the other one that's always there, is that when you're in the wilderness, when you're on the land, it's so quiet that you can hear the Creator, that they could speak to you. You hear it in ways that you'll say, why did I hear that bird chirping? Why did I hear the water so crystal? Why did I hear that wind? It's him, it's her, it's the Creator talking to you and saying something to you, and saying that I'm hearing your prayers. Keep continuing on your life. Keep continuing on what you're doing, the great work. And that's what I think about land-based teachings, and that's what I remember from my as a child. As a child, I was always we would always be on the land and doing some activities up there, harvesting of snow for water, harvesting trees for shelter and warmth. Now the harvesting in the fall for moose, goose, ducks, waterfowl. In the winter, snaring, trapping, all these things. I miss it when I see today. The only activity I get to do today is when I live in the rural is walking. I walk, which is the only activity I could get to do. Because one thing I always notice about being on my community is that jumping on a boat, jumping on a snow machine, jumping on the what you call it, a four-wheeler, and just going fishing anywhere, and nobody says anything to you. But when you're in the world, in the rural setting, all these settlers look at you. What the hell are you doing here? What do you mean? What the hell am I doing here? I'm practicing my treaty rights. I'm practicing my inherent rights. This is who I am. This is who we are. But those are the things that I have to get used to, and it's hard for me to get used to that. But I know for you, the people that are at home, take advantage of that nobody says nothing to you. But when you come here in the South, in a setting, in a rural setting, they question you. But with that, I just want to say to you, well, the Assembly of First Nations, the leaders always said that this is what they kept saying, is taking over. We have to take over. What do you want to take over? Something that's not working for you? Something that's not benefiting you? Take over the frustration? No, it's not. Land-based, what I want to say is the proper wording is occupying the field. Occupying the field means you're actually doing something on whatever jurisdiction that you have. You're actually doing it. And this is what land-based is, occupying the field, teaching your kids all of these traditions and ensuring that they preserve these traditions, ensuring they preserve their culture, and ensuring that they remain true to who they are as Enino, Anishinaabe, all these terminologies that we use to identify ourselves as Indigenous peoples of Canada. I want to say that as my final thought. And again, good morning to everybody. It's a great morning. What's it? What's it?
Miigwech to the Education Director, Andrew Solomon, for those wonderful words. This is the part of the program where I kind of give you an overview of what's available on the website. As you've logged on here, perhaps you've had a chance to kind of click around with your mouse, and that should be a land-based training. How to click with a mouse? Is that a thing? No? Okay. So I have some housekeeping notes, as they like to call it, and I'll let you know. But one of the most important things about this conference is that the prizes. We got lots of prizes. And at the end of this presentation, I'm going to give you a play to win code word. And that word, save them up, because at the end of the conference, we're going to make some special draws based on those words. And you'll see words come up at the end of this. Now, they've given me all these words to read here. So I'll clear my throat and I'll do what I do best. I will talk like a white man. Here we go. Welcome to the Land-Based Learning Gathering. Before we can discover learning concepts from the land, let's explore the event platform. Everything on this platform is accessible from the left-hand menu. First, we have the Agenda tab. From here, you will see the sessions for each day. Click on the session you want to watch, and it will begin playing automatically at the start time. At the right-hand side, you will see the chat box, where you can chat with your fellow attendees and ask the event staff questions. Some presentations will have polls. Yes, a section for some interactivity with the speakers. If you want to ask the speaker a question, click on the Q&A to enter your question, which will be answered at the end of the presentation. I don't know why I'm holding my hand to my ear. Let's continue. The next tab we have is the Elders tab, very important one. Here you can find both Elder Lucy and Elder David, and who are available to offer support and guidance. Click on their names to see their information. Through the Speakers tab, you can learn all about the speakers for both days of this event. The Attendees tab allows you to connect one-on-one with your fellow attendees. Next, we have everyone's favorite tab, the Play to Win tab. Complete the list of the challenges to gather your code words and submit each one on this page. Once you complete them all, you'll be entered to win some great prizes. Not only that, but when you complete the event survey, you'll be entered for an extra special prize draw. And one more surprise, this event, we have a fun game for you. It's got in the handbook, it has a crossword puzzle. I love crossword puzzles. You can play this during your breaks, find the Play to Win code, and boost your points further. This should be a game show on APTN, I'm thinking. The next tab is the event survey. Be sure to complete this tomorrow for the special prize draw. By providing your valuable feedback, you can help us create better events. Check out the Events Document tab to view the handbook and other useful documents. And don't forget about the Event Announcements tab. What's that? Well, it contains all the announcements throughout the event. If you leave your device on break, be sure to check this tab in case you missed anything. And lastly, we have the Event Information tab. Here you will find the help desk, which I need all the time, for any questions you might have for the event, and the tech teams. And hello to our tech teams at TAG. They're doing a wonderful job. You can reach the event staff in the chat boxes of the current presentation or here throughout the event. Did you get all that? I'm sure you did. Now that everybody's ready for the event, let's start learning together. Here now is the play to win code word. The very first one today is gifts. That's the word you want. Write that down. The word is gifts. You'll see it coming up here. We're going to take a quick break, and then we're going to be back with our very first workshop. So grab a cup of tea, some bannock, and we'll see you back at 10:15. Miigwech.